My friend saw the video I uploaded 2 days ago where he basically sent me this marry her or not tier list. So, because this dude is on some zesty femboy manic episode, this guy sends me a male version of it. And I said, hey, bro, you gay. Also, I don't know how any of these people would be romantically, except like 6 years ago, there was a femboy who told me they were in love with me after they started hanging out with my friend group when we were playing Dota 2 a lot. But I don't get romantically involved. Dude was like all over me and romantically vulnerable towards me, but I'm not romantically available towards that. I think everyone on this list, just from being on the internet a lot, most of my life, they have their pros and cons. And 7 out of 10 times, they're an unhinged serial internet user or an e-boy. Now, I did look at the stats, right? My female audience dropped from like 20% to 12%. So listen, at this point, if you have a different game going on from this video, if you want to play that Mary thing, that's on you, okay? Hey, listen, be my guest. Also, seeing from my Discord, most of y'all have thigh-high socking little goonin anime avatars anyway, so I'm just gonna assume, never mind. Anyway, number one. Now, people who I've met online like this, the Europoors, most of the time they game basically all day. They just play video games. That's all. That's why they're Europoor. They all they do is just game. It's like a coin flip whether they're good at it or not. Though each time I made a friend with someone who was like this, who I got someone close to, right? They don't have anything else to their personality besides the current game they're playing. They don't know how to engage in conversations about anything else unless it's like about cars or how much they hate Russians. But it's very dull to me, you know what I'm saying? Maybe because I'm American, I can't relate to what they care about in Europe like that. I mean, and most of the time with this archetype of serial internet users, they are severely depressed. They're depressed, but they never open up about it. They only mention it. You know when you can tell someone is going through a lot, even online, but they're very vague and they never open up about it, you know? It's like this often. They're nice and all, and they can make a great gamer friend, but I can't imagine having a friendship or any sort of connection with this archetype that is too deep. Again, maybe that's just me. Number two, the femboy and catboy archetype, usually a gooner. It mentions in the list here that they dream about becoming an e-celeb. Yeah, you know how? By gooning and publishing it. This archetype usually has inconsistencies with their personalities. They like to use people. Whoever gives them the best and the current most emotional or sexual pleasure, they'll attach to them or cling to that person even though they barely know them in general. They don't care about who this person is really, as long as they feel emotionally or their perversions are pleased, they'll cling to them. They'll add random people with cropped perverted avatars. They'll join random servers to find people who they can either love bomb or bombard about their life because they feel like it's easier for them to do that so they don't waste their time or waste someone else's time with the person who will accept them or not, so they can get a few nuts off. And then eventually, when they're bored of you, they'll get they'll get cold and stop talking to them. It's always like this. People who be living this wannabe famous catboy or femboy aesthetic, they always end up having a phase of preying on people on public communities or Discord servers who they think they could lewd with or grow a perverted relationship with. But nothing serious ever comes out of it. Something like this is like a week or two max, like a friendship, anything. If you meet someone like this, or someone like this adds you and does exactly what I described, or you see signs of it, set boundaries immediately from the start. They're either going to stop talking to you because they can't use you, or they're going to try to gain your trust. So they share stories about how they'll start preying on other people. Like they'll just talk to you about it. They'll start ranting like you're their journal. And so that's how I know where all this is from, by the way, because I've had this story told to me 40 times already. Number three. These type of people, they're usually always bragging about how much money they have, or they keep saying to the moon. Like, bro, man, like, and the attributes are correct. It makes sense here. Very insecure is truthful. They always have to talk about how rich they are. This archetype tends to be combined with toxicity. So when you critique them on anything in life, anything, it doesn't even have to be a harsh critique. They have this grandiose, like their life is 50 times better than everyone else or whoever's critiquing them because they got money, despite being a failure at everything else in life. So when you do critique them, eventually, somehow they'll bring up money. and they're never nice to be around. You can't tell this type of person anything. Like for real, you can't. The social life is bad. They can't communicate with people. They can't do anything else besides, oh, I got money in my bank account. So it's like you can't tell them anything because that's the only thing that they feel like values their whole life. So hey, if that was the only thing I had to my life, it would make sense, wouldn't it? Number 4, any person who just randomly brings up the size of their meat is lying. If there is no context to why they're bringing it up, they're going to lie about it. This archetype is a coin flip. This type of person is they either have very active sociopathic or narcissistic tendencies, or they're just angry all the time, like about literally anything. Sometimes both. Entitlement is usually attached to this as well. It's probably exactly what I'm describing based on the fact that he's going to talk about his meat size, yet is an incel. So he probably feels like his physical attributes, because he is tall, he's 6'2" as well, right? And he claims he has a huge schlong, right? So he probably feels his physical attributes should entitle him to have like an abundance of women, yet clearly can't do that because he's mentally ill. And whatever mental illness or whatever makes this person not attractive to be around, their personality or whatever, despite being tall and apparently, resulted in him being an incel. This person should be avoided at all costs, by the way. You can tell very early on when you meet someone like this is like someone who I'm describing, because they're usually going to start randomly ranting to you about the female psychology while degrading women. And if you're lucky, you might get a bonus here. You might also hear them talk about how the Soviet Union and other sociology and political ideology should be implemented into modern society and how it could fix every single problem with our modern world. I don't want to listen to that. Number 5, this archetype is usually the most sane and chill. This is somebody who you meet online and talk to about life sometimes, and then you don't talk to them for days until you two catch up again. Nothing really exciting about your friendship or relationship with them, which isn't a bad thing. It's normal and it's perfectly fine. This is the type of friend you can talk about anything with, very kind, just a guy who's working and has hobbies like cooking, right? Like it says here, just a nice guy to have a friend or keep in touch with, Number 6, this is like a mixture of a normie and someone who spends too much time on the internet. Remember the female list video I uploaded a few days ago that started this video? I was talking about body counts. Like this type of person goes either 2 ways. 1, they're actually very traditional and extreme about it. Or 2, this person is one of those body count askers and watches a lot of red pill manosphere content. Both of these ways have red flags, but usually this type of person as a friend won't bring that stuff up unless you ask them directly, or you're a female yourself. And if that's the case, you're a female, you're not going to have a good time with this person unless you fit their perfect mold. Like it has to be picture perfect. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it could get very controlling too. Women can be very picky, but men should be allowed to be picky as well, honestly. But sometimes with this archetype, it can be very restrictive if you're not willing to compromise with romantic imperfections or someone's past. Like this is what I'm saying. Like if you're a woman, you're dealing with somebody like this, they get very restrictive. You know what I'm saying? And as a friend though, this isn't too bad of a person to hang out with, but I would avoid conversations about the dating life or anything like that, because you're going to hear some very conservative opinions, So the Europoor and the kind guy who works in retail are the most normal and positive experience for me, at least. Everyone else, I can't really trust too much, Like I always feel like there's something attached to them that I can't tolerate. But that's just me. I don't know. Let me know down below how you guys feel. This episode is found on Spotify and YouTube. I'm out.